And all I needed was 3 chords on a piano, to erase your memory, the only way I know. 'Cause I buried you in the last words of a song. Turned out the light, went out into the night, searching for anyone that could give me anything close to love.
There we go, yeah.
That was the brand new single Buried You by Appella to welcome you back, and this follows the release of their acclaimed debut album 1963, which has clocked up a whopping 500,000 streams to date, topping the charts earlier this year.
But the album has become a personal dedication for the band's frontman. Not only does the title mark the year his mother was born, but all proceeds go to the Marie Keating Foundation.
Musician and broadcaster Dara Quilty joins us in studio this morning. Good morning to you, Dara. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Great video. We were just asking you, where was that made?
We thought you were going to say, like, oh yeah, that's when I was in New York, or we went to LA to shoot it, but no, it was in...
That was a community hall in Clara, County Offaly.
Clara, County Offaly. How glamorous is that?
All credit to Ray Keogh, who directed and filmed that video. He did a hell of a job.
Well,
we were not expecting Clara in County Offaly as the location for your video.
Anything is possible.
Anything's in a pandemic, anything is possible.
For sure. There were literally 5 people, I think, in
Tell
that
us,
video.
Dara, how have you been?
Good.
Yeah.
Roller coaster.
Like everyone, yeah.
You know, I know I'm affiliated now with Marie Keating, and Ronan Keating did say life is a roller coaster, and my God, has the last year and a half been a roller coaster.
Well, especially for you, because you packed everything up in 2019 and moved to New York City to start your new life, and then lockdown happened a couple of months later.
Yeah, I didn't foresee a global pandemic coming and Manhattan shutting down before I moved to New York City. I mean, it was creepy.
Really?
It was creepy.
It's very odd for all of us, but if you're aware of New York and if you live in New York, it's just constant noise, constant buzz, constant
you live
people.
there.
I lived there years ago, yeah. So it's that must be just so weird.
I have a photograph of myself on the corner of 44th and 6th Avenue, which is like Times Square, which is never empty ever. From 6 o'clock in the morning. There you are, look, yeah. That's the shot. Now, that shot you're seeing on your screen was taken at rush hour on a Tuesday by an Irish-American photographer, David Gannon. We didn't even have to wait for the crosswalk. That's Times Square just at rush hour.
Yeah, it's so crazy, isn't it? It's
bananas.
Just
you know those red steps in Times Square? You see them in the Alicia Keys and Jay-Z Empire State of Mind
I've sat on them.
Yeah, you probably had to go wait in line, and every single influencer is like...
Yeah.
They were just empty.
You had no queue. You were grand to insta away. Dara, tell us about when you moved, though, because that is a huge step to leave a job. Of course, you're a much-loved radio host here, and everyone would have been familiar with your dulcet tones on radio. But you left all of that behind and took the leap.
Yeah, I finished on 98 FM. I did 5 years there, and it just came to a point where I was like, is this all I'm going to do? And then the sort of existential question is, am I actually any good at this? So my girlfriend...
What was the answer?
Well, I'm back here now. So, you know, my girlfriend was living in Brooklyn, so I moved over, and I was like, well, can I do what I did here, there? I mean, I did get lucky. I got to do 2 shows for MTV.
Yeah.
Before everything completely shut down.
Well, that's great. How did that come about?
But just by chance having a home studio and being able to do voiceovers.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, because everything was shut. So I kind of was more so for personal growth. Like, I've been working professionally in broadcasting and music since 18 here.
Yeah.
Like, my first run on radio was overnights on 98 FM when I was 18. Then I moved to Spin when I was 19.
Yeah.
Then I did about 4 years on Spin. It's a Dublin radio station. Then I went back to 98 FM to take over for the prestigious Dermot and Dave.
Yeah.
When I was 25 years old, and I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. And I loved that show, and it was a great company. And, you know, it just came to a point. I hit 30, and I was like, I've always wanted to try America.
Now or never.
Now or never. Laura, it's now or never. Yeah.
You were looking, you're getting your MTV stuff. But New York and America, it's tough to break into, isn't it? I always sort of say, I love New York. I wouldn't live there because you need money to live in New York.
Yeah, and that's something I don't have, Alan. But, like...
I love the honesty.
You can do it, and it's exhilarating to sort of, like... I went sort of for well, obviously to grow professionally, but for personal growth as well. Just doing the same job for years and years and years. I was like, I need to live a little here and get some life experience.
Well, tell us about the album. We're seeing it there beside you, 1963. A poignant, a sentimental reason why you've called it that. Tell us why.
Yeah, so the whole record was actually recorded before I moved to New York. Okay. Everything was in the can. And then everybody kept saying, no, you got to wait for this. You got to get these numbers. You got to have this on Spotify. And I was like, you got to wait. So got to a point where it's like, I don't want to wait anymore. I want to release this now because it's only consumer for about a year and a half was me on my iPhone listening to it. So my friend Aidan Cunningham, who is an Irish mixing engineer who also lives in Brooklyn, we just reopened it. We sort of remastered and did all stuff that nobody cares about, and it was ready. Did you change any of it? Yeah, we made it sound a lot better. But did you change any lyrics or anything? No re-recording. Right. Again, Clara County Offaly, Joe Egan is the producer on this, the Nutshed Studio. It's a warm place in my heart. That's where the whole thing was recorded. All right. So we just mastered in Brooklyn, and then it was ready. So I was like, all right, we need to pull the trigger on this and go. We mentioned the Marie Keating Foundation earlier. That was a later thought. So tell us how that came about. And obviously, your lovely mum, Roisin, is a huge inspiration behind this album, certainly the name of it. Well, yeah, the title is the year she was born. So my mom is living with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. And over our journey, I've realized, you know, science is fundamentally important with cancer. Number one, science, medicine. But right there beside that is the support structure. Because 3,700 women each year are diagnosed with breast cancer in Ireland. That's 3,700 women. That's 3,700 unique experiences and stories, and then 3,700 families that are affected. Like, the ripple effect of that's got to be crazy. And nobody sees it coming, and nobody knows what to do. And how should you? It's not as if you're sort of training for 5 years. Well, if somebody gets cancer, here's what you do. See, I was a headless chicken when it first came around. There's somebody probably watching today who's received their diagnosis today and is going, oh my God, I've been in St. Vincent's private hospital in Dublin. Your show is on. There's somebody sitting there right now going, oh my God, what am I going to do? And my advice is to reach out for support. And the Marie Keating Foundation provide astronomical support, and they really care. And all their services are free. Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff with Ronan and Linda Keating, and they do amazing work, and their vans even going around the country and stuff like that. It is a huge support for people. My first call, I cold called Linda Keating. She didn't care who I was. She didn't care about the album. She didn't care about the money. The first half an hour of the phone call with Linda was, "Who's your mom? How is she? What kind of cancer? And how is your mom?" She's doing okay. She's watching right now. Hey, Mom. What's your mom's name? Roisin. We're on TV. We made it. Good morning, Roisin. And my mom's mother, Colette's watching right now. So she must have been genuinely very emotional and touched, though, by this lovely tribute to her. Yeah, but it was also, it's positivity. Because this album went to the top of the charts. My goal was to have a record exist on Spotify. And to have that chart performance, like we went #1 on the official independent chart. We went #2 on the album chart. We were 101 sales behind Justin Bieber. Wow. That's incredible. Wow. Listen, we want to talk to you about the podcast. Because the two of us were chatting earlier on. Oh, right, yeah. The podcast is brilliant for lockdown because you can do it remotely, and you've been back here the last few months. So that's where I did it. So I was born in New York, and I did most of it in New York City. And the great thing about the pandemic is all these big guests had nothing to do. So it's called Dara Quilty's Different. It's available on all the podcasting places for free. So, like, I got to interview, like, Mark Normand and Joe List, Tom Green, you remember? Yes, I do, yeah. Tom Green. MTV days, early days. I had Irish guests like Dermot Whelan, who's just released his book. He spoke a lot about the meditation in that episode. Yeah. Doireann Garrahy. It's kind of more like a deep dive conversation that's just real. And a lot of people post-interview have emailed me and said, oh, I didn't mean to talk about that. Can you take that out? So I'm kind of like, you guys know as broadcasters, like I've hit the nail on the head there. When, you know, I would never leave anyone to hang out to dry. There's no agenda. It's just kind of like a real discussion, mostly about people who work in the arts, like entertainment, comedy, and musicians. But I love it. Oh, that's brilliant. I love talking to people. I hate organising guests and recording. Well, you love singing. Can you get your PA to do that for you? I don't have one. Dara, it's been such a pleasure chatting to you this morning. Incredible to hear about the success of 1963, and we just heard the new single there as well. Apella's debut album, 1963, as you just mentioned, is available to purchase at apellamusic.com.
Thank you,
very much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much.